All right, so in my last episode here, I had this all run, did the break-in. I've subsequently had the valve cover back off, redid the valves, retorqued the head. I did find that I had to actually adjust the valves more than I thought I would, but they've been redone. The only lingering issue I'm having, and I don't know if you can tell in this light, this particular injector, I reused the old grommets from the return side, and they were not in very good shape. I really kind of had to force them off the old injector. So I'm going to be pulling these return lines. Got some new grommets. That should take care of the last of the leak that I have here. And then I'm ready to, I'll take a lot of brake clean. I'm going to clean off this engine. If you've seen the other videos, you can tell that head's not painted. Probably should have done that before I put it on, but it's on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm not going to do an auto body type paint, but I'm certainly going to spray this with something just to try and help protect what's exposed. I'm going to do that after I get this on, and you can kind of tell from the rubber. I certainly wouldn't be the first person that has done that. So anyway, that's our project. I'll pull these off and throw these on. I don't know if that's much of a video to watch, but all these do is unthread, and you just take them off, and put the new grommets in and put it back on. See if I got a leak solved. All right, just a little quick follow-up. I've been pulling the old ones out. You can see I've got the new ones on. Of course, I poked myself in the finger with this thing. It's sharp. But get that on. I'll be halfway done, and then we'll fire her up. All right, return lines are back on. New grommets are in. I hit this with a bunch of brake clean just to try and get any old stuff off. Let's give her a start up and see if anything leaks. Here we go. Alright, absolutely no blow-by anymore. That's really good. Good news. Injector's no longer leaking, no more blow-by. I think we got her licked. Time to move on. I'm gonna power wash this thing. I got some undercarriage work. I got 2 bolts that are broken, need to deal with, and then a few more hydraulic hoses, paint, and this is done. Quite happy. You saw me running up here on the hill. That was 3rd gear, which was something before I was kind of struggling with a little bit. It was definitely down on power. I couldn't even run it in 4th gear. So I think I got good power now. So we're going to call that a success. Move on to the next phase of the project. All right, I've been under here the better part of a day trying to put these bolts in. There was no way I was going to get the old remnants of the old bolts out. So I ended up I put a little socket in here as a guide. So I had small drill bits and I progressively drilled the holes bigger, and now I'm tapping. And I'm going to put these bolts in. I actually have 3/4 10 bolts. You can see I've got one in now. You're not supposed. From what I understand, you're not supposed to crank these tight, so I don't have that in there tight. And I did not use hardened bolts because I think they're supposed to give under worse circumstances. So anyway, that's been today's project, and I never thought it would take this long, but boy, is it ever. So I've decided just to drill out the old remnants and tap them with 3/4 10, and we're going to call it good. All right, the job is done. I mentioned earlier what I had done when these were just holes. I had this socket. It's kind of a weird socket, but put it in the hole, and I used it as a drill guide to try and get these straight. This one I managed to get straight. This one I didn't. But it's good enough. It's not going to go anywhere. I did not make them overly tight, and I don't know. I guess there's some kind of specialty bolt for these. It was fine thread originally. You can see that on this side. But I didn't have those, so I used these, and I did put a little bit of Loctite blue on them so they don't back out. I didn't crank them tight, but again, I did put a little bit of blue Loctite on them. They should be fine. So I feel better about that. My guess is this would never have gone anywhere. This is 2 out of 6 bolts, but I really didn't like the idea that those were sheared off. So I went ahead and corrected that. So we're on to the next. We're going to do some cosmetics and a few more hoses, and then this machine should be ready to go.